Welcome, my lovely goblins and ghouls of the internet. I am Hanyo, your demon cinephile, and it's time to get creepy! No, that didn't work. That didn't work. Cut that out. We're gonna cut that out. Hey everybody, so if you saw the thumbnail, read the title, you know what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the Creep tapes. Specifically episode 1 through 3. By the time this video comes out, episode 4 should already be out. If you do not know what Creep is, what the Creep tapes are, Creep, the first 2 Creep movies are about a serial killer who likes to document his kills. He likes to trick people into videotaping him, or he videotapes them. He likes to get to know them personally. He likes to terrify them, likes to do weird personal things before eventually finishing them off. Throughout the 2 films and currently through the show, we do not know his real name. He's used the name Joseph, Aaron, Mike, what are the names? Terrence. But so far, these are not his real names. At least for 2 of the names, we know that those are names of previous victims. Only names we can go by are simply the Creep or Peach Fuzz, because of that adorable little mask he has. I love the first 2 Creep movies. Definitely 2 of my favorite found footage movies. Mostly due to Mark Duplass's fantastic performance. I've not seen anything else this man is in, but he is definitely one of my favorite actors, just simply because of this performance. Oh yeah, so the premise of the show is simply, we follow the tapes, the many different tapes of the mysterious Creep killer, and basically see all his many different shenanigans. We don't exactly know if the tapes take place before the movies, after the movies, or in between the films. And maybe there's little hints in between, but I haven't noticed anything quite yet. The first episode is titled Mike. We follow a wannabe director, wannabe cinematographer. I'm not exactly sure what his real cinema goals are. But he answers a mysterious Craigslist call to meet up with this guy who wants to shoot a film reel. And of course, it's Mark Duplass, it's the Creep. You know, it's this fun, weird little thing to do this weird interview with the vampire parody. He wants them to do Kathy Bates from Misery. And it's very much kind of what you get from the Creep movies, like very much condensed. It's very Mark Duplass being this very unsettling character where, yeah, he's just a weird guy. Like, he's not overly disturbing. He's not, oh, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna blah 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 blah. He's not overly threatening either. He's just a creepy guy. Just as this weird guy where, yeah, he doesn't seem threatening. He's just, you know, he's like a normal evil, which is gets you because that's what makes him so frightening. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy you would be terrified of. He's actually pretty sweet and charming, and sometimes, in some parts, when he actually wants to be that way. But then you get to the final part of the episode. He gets to his big monologue about his acting, about how am I really a killer? About this axe? Is the axe real? Is there blood on my hand? And it's why I love Mark Duplass. That's why I love the writing for this character. It's so amazing, so captivating, and I love the way his film, not really shaky cam, but you know, it's like this camera's jostling just a little bit because the handheld. It is pitch black outside, so when the light is shining on Mark Duplass, he's highlighted, but everything else is just completely zoned out. Perfect. Putting him in the spotlight, which actually really fits his character because the character is putting on performance almost all the time. And then when he chases after him with the axe. He's just so giddy. He's so giddy. You can't help but like this character when he kills people sometimes. I shouldn't say that out loud. Episode 2 is Elliot. And I have to admit, I didn't really like this episode as much as the whole 3. Not that it was bad, it's just something was about it. So the case subject for this episode is Elliot, I guess what you call him, bird watcher. And one of those people who like to go and watch birds, one of those weirdos. And you guys aren't weirdos. Actually seems like a fun hobby if you can stand being out in nature for more than 5 minutes. And he's looking out for a bird, and he can't really find it. Then he comes across this parachute laying in the ground, and out comes Mark Duplass's character. But he's not called, last episode he was called Jeff Daniels, but not that Jeff Daniels. Here he's called something else, the name I can't really remember. And he's looking actually very different. This is the most different he's looked in all the movies. All his appearances between the movies and the episodes. And he's hyperventilating. And I like it. He's putting on this very big dramatic performance of this guy who just survived this traumatic skydiving incident. And then he sees the camera and you can see his personality shift, like, oh, that's a camera. Quick, let me take the camera. I need to film something real quick. And you can see him being very obsessive with Elliot. Like, hey, Elliot, you seem like a great person. Thank you for letting me use your camera. Hey, can you drive me somewhere? Like, I think I know where your bird is. Let's go there. Elliot, I think you're lying to me. Elliot, you shouldn't be chasing after a special bird. You should go for a regular bird. And it's very weird and obsessive personality does also fit with the creep or Peach Fuzz as he is, because he does show that in the first and second movie that he does have an obsessive personality when it comes to certain victims. He doesn't just want to kill them. Sometimes he just wants to kill them quickly, but sometimes he does wants to form a relationship with them before killing them. That he wants to, I don't know, maybe keep a part of them with them, or maybe he just wants to form a genuine connection. But we don't really know. A lot of this character's background is left very mysterious. Also, another thing that I noticed, when the guy says in the opening that he was on a group chat, and the reason why he went there because some guy in the group chat said to go to this place, you'll find this special bird that you want to go see. And it's this long name, you know, those usernames with the numbers and all that. But he said the name, but part of the username was Mike. And it was the name of the last victim from the first episode, Mike. And we know that the creep, Joseph Peach Fuzz, he likes to use the names of his previous victims. So it's never said that he lured Elliot there, but it really does seem like he did. Plus, it just also makes sense because of his motives and how he does things. He likes to control the environment. Also, too, it's really neat because this is the first time we've seen the killer outside of his environment. We always see him in his house or in the woods next to the house. He really does seem like they're like, I don't know, somewhere far off in the middle of nowhere. It's a literal dirt road. Yeah, but Elliot, he kind of reminds me of Aaron from the first movie. He's just such a very passive character. He's putting up a lot of the creeps BS. Like, there's no point like you think he'd be like, dude, just stop, get out of my car. He wrestled for his keys or anything, but he's not. And he there's plenty of times he sees that this guy is clearly unstable, but he still turns his back to him. But then again, it's kind of the point, because the killer does give him a moment where he's like, hey, your special bird's over there. But you sure you want to look at it? Are you really sure you want to look at it? I don't know. There's something about this episode, like, I love Mark Duplass in it. The guy playing Elliot is really good. It's just something about the writing of how they wrote Elliot. Also, just the way they kill Elliot with I don't know, I didn't really like the way they kill him. I mean, I like how they set it up because they showed the weapon pretty early on. They showed it right before they use it again, but I don't know. It was a little too silly. It was a little too silly. Not the best one. Still a very fun episode because its creep is Mark Duplass, but something was about it. Something was about it. Episode 3, Jeremy. Now this one was awesome. There's still a little bit. Only bad thing about this episode that I didn't really like was Jeremy himself, the victim. I don't know. He's like he's supposed to be one of those guys that one of those drama channels. He's supposed to be like one of those YouTube drama guys who goes out and busts people. And there's something about him. I don't know. For most of the episode, he is really good. But there's this one moment where he kind of goes off in this little rage rant, and it's so weird and a little cringy. And I think it was supposed to be that way, but it kind of took me out of the character's seriousness for a moment. But besides that one moment, he's really good. I really do love the snow in this episode. I mean, we see it's snowy in the first episode, so I'm guessing timeline wise, episode 3 takes place closer to episode 1. I like the little Christmas lights leading up to the house, the little gnomes, and of course this is the episode where we see the creep pretending to be a priest, Terrence. And I love the creep pretending to be a priest, but he's not pretending to be a priest, he's pretending to be a bad priests, you know, like the awful, you know what I mean, the clearly awful priests who don't really believe in their faith, are just there for whatever reason.
You know, I can always change this water into wine. I'm serious, Jeremy. You can technically have a drink. It's not a sin. Or is it?
I believe the Bible says, and lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil. Amen. Oh, good boy. That's a real good boy, Jeremy. Hey, you mind if I throw on a little music?
Clearly flirting with somebody, you know, priest really shouldn't be doing, and he's doing all these dumb things like you're not a priest, you're just some weirdo who just wants to freak people out. Like, no, I'm not. I'm a real priest. Why would you dare say that? It's probably the funniest performance, and it's actually what made me feel like the whole season, not the whole, the season over yet, but the whole show so far, it reminds me of Scare Tactics in a bit. I mean, Mark Duplass, he just seems like a very serious version of Scare Tactics, but taken to the extreme. This is how he's just going out his way to freak people out before the big kill. I don't know why. I just thought about it before while doing the second rewatch before recording this, because there's a moment where he gets called out by Jeremy and he's like runs outside and he starts banging on the windows like, I'm an angel. Peach Fuzz then comes out like, I'm a devil. But I do like how he goes outside because first time I watched this, like at the very end, he does something to Jeremy's car. It's like, wait, when did he have time to do that? Then I watched the second time, I was like, oh, that's right. He was outside for a bit. He had time to mess with some stuff. There was a nice little callback to the movie where the creep mentions Tubby Time, which is something he said to the victim in the movie, Aaron. I don't know, maybe that's something he does with all his victims. Maybe that is something consistent with his personality. We're not exactly sure. There is one thing I do notice, because we do see another videotape in the episode, and we see the creep with the Peach Fudge mask on being recorded by somebody else. And it's supposed to be like a fake exorcism, but it's a guy recording it. Which I think is funny because in the first movie, Peach Fuzz, creep, whatever, he does have an accomplice. Spoilers for the first movie. He mentions in the first movie he has a wife, but when that character does call Erin the victim of the first movie, she says she's not his wife, she's his sister. Now that character has not made an appearance yet, but we do know she does. There is somebody that does work with him to some extent, so he does have a female accomplice. But this person holding the camera looks like to be male, probably. Maybe we'll see that in the other episodes. Maybe we will see the occasional accomplice to the creep. We're not sure. And also, well, Jeremy was a bit of an asshole. His death really did hit home, because the first death in episode 1, the camera was kind of put to the back end, so when he came to the swing of it, it's carnage. It's like it's nice little but it's far away. Second kill is kind of goofy. This one though, you can actually hear the crunch when the axe swings, and just makes it all the more, a little bit more real. So even though you don't see the death, you don't see the blood, it feels a little pain in your heart, a little pain like, oh god, no. and that's what I really want. You know what I mean? I love carnage, I love the blood, I love gore, but if you can get me to wince and cringe at death without showing any blood, that's awesome. And if you get me to feel that way for a character that I could barely stand, even more amazing. Yeah, so far I am loving this series. I'm loving it. Like I said, the first two creep tapes, not creep. The first two creep movies are two of my favorite films. They were amazing when I first watched them. I was begging and hoping they would do a Creep 3 for the longest. Like, please do a Creep 3. Please do a Creep 3. Even like up until like mid this year, I was like, did they abandon Creep? I guess they did. And then to be hit like smack in the face, like they have a Creep TV series coming out. Like this was like the biggest surprise of the whole year. It has not been a disappointment. Even episode 2, which I do say is not my most favorite, I still liked it. I still thought it was entertaining, and Mark Duplass in this character are friggin' awesome. So yeah, Creep tapes, certified great. If you like the first two Creep movies, you're gonna like this. If you like found footage, you're gonna like this. And if you're on the fence about found footage, I think Creep will be like a good introduction to the genre. But if you have watched the Creep tape, please tell me what you know about them, what you like about them. Please comment below, let me know, and I will see you all in the next video when we talk about the last 3 episodes. So I'll see you all then. Bye-bye!